Welcome to another edition of Chops and Pops. It is December 6th, 2015. All the sights and sounds to be seen and heard, you are here with us. Thank you so much for listening here on our YouTube channel. I am Andy.
And I am Shane.
Today, we're going to talk about tables, ladders, and chairs. Match predictions.
That's pretty much it.
That's it.
Because we have a whole bunch of other stuff to talk about at the end of the show that we just kind of mention it and move on. So let's talk about the TLC card to fill up the show.
So right now, there are only, 3 matches confirmed?
3 that are official, I think, from what I see. There's the main event for the world title, which will be a TLC match, tables, ladders, and chairs of Sheamus and Roman. Ladder match for the tag team titles with New Day, Lucha, Dragons, and Usos. I almost said Lucha Underground. And the Intercontinental title with Kevin Owens defending against Dean Ambrose. An unofficial match with the Wyatt family taking on the Dudley Boys and Tommy Dreamer with possibly some other old ECW guy.
It will probably be a tables match.
Most likely. I would assume so. How do you feel about the card so far? Anything stand out? Anything you're excited about?
I don't really want to watch Roman Reigns and Sheamus. I don't. That's gonna be it's gonna be a weird finish on that one. I feel like I'm not gonna get I'm not gonna get a clean win by either buddy. Nobody's gonna win clean. Which, I mean, there's tables, ladders, and chairs, so
there's gonna be plenty of spots where guys get thrown, and I see that being the ending. That it's gonna be slip on a banana peel. It's going to be Roman Reigns on top of the ladder getting knocked off. Sheamus grabs the belt.
By the League of Nations, they're going to come and help him out.
Right. There's that, too.
I'm surprised Alberto Del Rio doesn't have a match yet for his title. They just don't care about his United States title anymore.
He's lost a lot of heat from that big surprise of a return. Should we talk about the League of Nations and have that kind of get crossed off from talking about that with the TLC card?
Yeah, we could do that.
How do you feel about it? League of Nations, it consists of Sheamus, King Barrett, Rusev, and Alberto Del Rio as this multicultural, multi-country stable.
Yep.
I guess just a bunch of heels that they didn't know what to do with.
Yeah, that's it. That's all it is. There's nothing more to talk about with the League of Nations. They are just a group of multinational people.
I'm not crapping on it because I think it's the best thing to do for those guys. All those guys are mid-card level, with the exception of Sheamus. Mid-card level guys that don't have much direction right now. You have Alberto Del Rio. He won the title right away. And this whole Zeb Coulter thing makes no sense still.
Yeah.
King Barrett has no upside whatsoever. And Rusev, who has done a lot, but at this point, after the whole soap opera drama...
Yeah.
With Lana and Summer Rae, what does he have to do?
Nothing. It works because, like you said, there's really nothing going on with most of them right now. But I don't care about any of them. Alberto Del Rio, like John Cena. People can crap on John Cena all they want. He made that United States Championship super interesting.
He did, and
every week.
You know what? I want to bring up a certain point about you saying that because it was talked about during, I believe it was the Table for 3 episode with Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan and Ryback, where they talk about how hard it is to make a championship mean something, and that it takes time. It takes a lot of time and a lot of work, and it takes time to make the fans believe in it again, to get them invested in a championship and make it mean something. I agree with that partially. I agree that it does take time. However, I believe that all of that work can be erased in a day.
Yep. It's gone.
So it's more about consistency. That's the word I'm looking for.
Well, remember,
consistency.
Dean Ambrose is United States champion. Never defended it. Ever. So I almost forgot that he had it, except that he was holding it every now and then. It's
for a long time.
He's the champion. And Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, they're tag team champions. Okay. That was it.
That's all. The Shield had the titles.
Yep.
And I brought that up about the world title back when Sheamus won it. I think it was probably last week's episode.
Yeah.
I lose track of what we talk about. In that the world title, I felt, has carried credibility for at least 4 years now,
Yeah.
since Punk won it back at the Garden. I feel like the world title never went to somebody that was a paper champion. That never went to somebody where it didn't make sense or didn't mean something or wasn't to somebody of high value. Sheamus winning it is the first time in 4 years that makes me go, oh, they were on such a roll. They were doing so well. And the United States title, it's that same situation where John Cena made it mean something for all of 2015. And now Del Rio has it, and it doesn't mean squat.
Nope. It means less than it did before somehow.
Yeah.
Like, it's the Mex-American connection supposed to be stronger. Nope. Doesn't matter. No one cares.
Like, shouldn't Zeb Coulter be the pure representation of that guy that's following Donald Trump right now? You know, like, shouldn't he be more racist than ever?
Very.
You know?
Him and Jack Swagger should just be team awful. Just awful views on the world. Because that's what they were. And it was, we the people, it was working. They had, especially with all the fact that Donald Trump is still ahead in the polls, is out of control. So
what is wrong with you,
there's
America?
Clearly a contingent of people that would care about Zeb Coulter. And you know what? It would give Jack Swagger something to do. Except lose against Rusev every now and then.
And we have a lot of people who listen to our show from all around the world. It's not just American viewers, or listeners, I should say. And I don't think that they're really, into the whole Zeb Coulter. You know what I mean? It's not just an American thing. I think that the whole angle just doesn't make sense. But we're getting off track now.
Right.
Let's talk about TLC.
Okay. So Sheamus and Reigns, that's going to be it's going to be spots. Just all spots with everything.
And Sheamus retains.
Yeah. Sheamus is going to retain. Wonky business. Something's going to happen. They're not going to give it to Reigns because the struggle. He has to struggle.
He does.
He has to work for it.
I don't think it's going to be terrible.
No.
I see it as being... I don't think it will be similar to the match that Roman had with Lesnar, but I see the... how should I word this? I feel like it's going to be like an action movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Sheamus and Roman Reigns are very manly type wrestlers, And I feel that the style for a tables, ladders, and chairs match with all those spots of breaking tables, falling off of high heights, getting hit with chairs. It's going to be like watching like Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like it's going to be like a type of like man movie, action movie type.
We get badass Sheamus and not funny Sheamus.
He did get kind of goofy with this heel turn.
Yeah. And I hope he's not goofy for this title defense. I hope he's like angry Celtic warrior Sheamus. Like brutal, stiff. Like what he did to Daniel Bryan when he came back. That he has to do it to Roman Reigns now. But not give him a concussion. Oh, God, no.
Well, also on the card, there's a ladder match for the tag team titles with New Day defending against Lucha Dragons and the Usos. How do you feel about that one?
There are going to be some flying Usos. There's going to be some flying dragons. Hopefully Sin Cara won't die.
You know what this match is going to have a lot of? Chants.
Yeah.
There's going to be the New Day chant. There's going to be the Lucha chant. There's going to be the Uso chant. There's a lot of chanting.
There is. I'm looking forward to the New Day intro and just them talking a little bit before the match, because that's all that really matters. Is that?
You mean Big E's big?
Yeah.
Oh. Shucky ducky.
And then...
Do you think it's going to be a good match? Do you think it's going to be something where, because of, high flyers, because of New Day
should be
being entertaining?
It should be a great match, but I mean, the Usos are back, and they haven't really wowed me since they've come back. I've been kind of, unimpressed. And the Lucha Dragons, Kalisto's great. He botches a lot.
They both
Sin Cara botches a lot. And then
Kalisto is a lot better than Sin Cara is, but they still both take a lot of high-risk moves.
Yeah.
And,
that could look really bad if they mess it up, which they do.
Well, think about the danger involved. Don't think about the oops factor and the fact that it's, pointing and laughing and going, ha, you messed it up.
Yeah.
It's more about, oh, good God, Kalisto or Sin Cara fall from a ladder. Somebody's getting messed up.
Somebody could die on a ladder, and I would not like to see that.
Intercontinental title, Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose.
Maybe they'll make it a chair match, because there's no chair match. There's
I could see
there's a ladder match. There's the TLC match. It's It's probably going to be the table match between the Wyatts
Oh,
and
true. Yeah, no, they
Team Dudley.
Never
so
mind.
we need a chairs match.
Yeah.
And are we going to have a stairs match?
I hope not.
Because that was
pointless.
terrible.
It bombed. Eric Rowan and Big Show last year had a stairs match that served no purpose.
No.
And was a waste of time.
I mean, they're trying to make Eric Rowan look like he could be a good guy, and he
I
just
like Eric Rowan.
gets beaten
He's
up.
good. He's underrated. But Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose. Originally, I thought that was going to be the ladder match. It's not. But even one-on-one, they are literally my two favorite wrestlers on the entire WWE roster. I could, talk about a lot of people that work for that company right now that are very good or have an upside or a bright future, or people that I just enjoy. But Kevin Owens and Dean Ambrose are the top of the list for me, so I couldn't be happier.
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be good, even without a stipulation. I feel like that could be just great on its own.
Yeah, they're both talented enough to, they don't need a lot to work with. Ambrose is always put into situations where he has to use a lot of tools or weapons. He gets put in a lot of gimmick matches, but one-on-one, him and Owens, pretty, it's a dream match, even if it's happened already.
Right.
And it's not official. Do you have something else you want to say about Owens and Ambrose?
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
That's really...
Well, there's the Wyatt family and the Dudleys and Dreamer tagging together.
It's going to be a Divas match of some type.
Do you think they're going to get a gimmick? Do you think that Paige and Charlotte will have some... all that's left is chairs. Do you think they would give Paige and Charlotte a chairs match before they would give it to Ambrose?
They're going to get a Pinky Promise for Life match. Did you see the post?
Pinky on a pole?
Did you
Pinky on a pole, booked by Russo.
Did you see?
Once you climb the pole, you can do the pinky swear, and you win the match.
There's a picture of... Because Becky and Charlotte are feuding for whatever reason. They're breaking up their friendship. And Becky's angry and looking for a new best friend. And Charlotte posts a picture of her pinky, and it says promise. And it's like the corniest thing ever. And I don't...
a lonely pinky.
It is.
There's nothing sadder than a lonely pinky.
It's ridiculous. But the only good part coming out of this whole situation is that Becky is hanging out with Bayley a lot. I'd rather not see Bayley brought up to the main roster right now. I think I kind of like what she's doing in NXT. But just do something with Becky. Like, make it a three-way match for the title between Becky and Charlotte and Paige. That would be interesting.
To do PCB and a triple threat?
Because they're doing nothing else with any of the other stables. The Bellas are whatever, and Team Bad is nothing. They're doing nothing with Team Bad. They might show up every now and then to fight Team Bella to let you know that they're still there.
Well, your girl Bayley is in trouble right now because she's facing Nia Jax at that London pay-per-view, and she might be losing her title pretty soon. And maybe she might get a main roster call. Who knows?
Nia Jax?
She's a tough chick.
She's a She put Bayley through a door.
A full sail made door.
Yeah, right through the door, like it was nothing. Ugh.
Poor Bayley.
Ugh. I don't know.
Well, the one thing we don't have to worry about with this year's TLC is it getting put in the shadow of the NXT pay-per-view. Because that happened last year when NXT held their Our Evolution pay-per-view.
That was great.
Which was one of the greatest put-together wrestling shows ever. I mean, WrestleMania 30 is up there too, but that NXT show from start to finish was perfection.
It was great.
And then TLC had to follow it like 3 days later and didn't do so hot. So TLC is going to be about 3 or 4 days before London this year, and hopefully we'll do better.
It should be.
But that's all we have so far for the TLC card. So...
I assume since it's next week, we're going to get a lot more definitive matches on Raw and SmackDown.
Mm-hmm. So by the time this show gets posted, people will know many more matches than we do right now.
They're going to get creative with creative.
Well, besides the 4 we talked about, there's the Divas match. That makes 5. And I would assume there's only 2, maybe 3 more matches added. And I don't know.
A chairs match between... I don't know. Who's a good guy left? Neville? Is it going to be Neville versus Barrett? They're going to reignite that with chairs now?
I think it's 1 week isn't enough time. I think we'll get the Divas match to fill out 5, and then Who else is?
I don't know.
I've been
Everybody's
missing
hurt.
Raw. I have to catch up on Raw, and I feel like I'm falling
Oh
behind.
yeah, Dolph Ziggler's still a person.
Him and Breeze maybe just
Yeah.
have another singles match, which they had a great match
Mm.
at Survivor Series. We didn't talk enough about.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll get more tomorrow night, and then TLC next week. We do our live review.
Yeah.
We'll be watching TLC next week for our Chops and Pops. Speaking of Chops and Pops,
Chops and Pops.
the whole point of the show is we chop and pop people.
Yes.
Or we chop people and pop ourselves. So let's chop some people.
Let's do it. Boom.
Did you hear that?
Big man, big chop, big show. Big
Who you
Show
chopping?
sucks.
Who-
Maybe Big Show's gonna come back. He's gonna mess up the Sheamus
Oh
match.
my God. I completely forgot Big Show wasn't even around. How did he get written off of TV?
He got beaten by somebody, and then that was it. They just had him disappear.
Roman beat him as
Yeah.
part of the world title
That was
tournament.
it. He got beaten, and then he just disappeared. That was it.
And now he's just in the commercial as part of a video game punching Roman Reigns
Yeah.
in the clouds.
Maybe that's like
Foreshadowing?
Yeah, foreshadowing. There it is.
Who knows? Chop of the week. You go first.
My chop of the week goes to Nia Jax beating up Blue Pants.
Oh, the squash match.
Yeah,
Right.
because I like Blue Pants.
See, I remembered her throwing Bailey through the door.
Yeah.
I forgot she had a squash match.
Yeah, she beat up Blue Pants, which I didn't know was going to happen. And I was so excited for a second. And then she just got beaten up. And there was one leg drop that looked okay. And then there was an ugly leg drop right after that. Not nearly as...
She does look a little green. I
Yeah.
think Nia Jax is too green to win the title right now.
Well, maybe she'll win with Eva's help. They'll be like
She could.
just bad guy group. That could work. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. Nia Jax beating up Blue Pants. I'm upset. And then she put Bailey through a door. Just Nia Jax in general, actually. I'm not...
She's getting you mad?
Okay, first off, her outfit when she first started was like blue, and it looked ridiculous. Now at least it's like black, so it like hides a little bit of like her shape, and like she has like shoulder pads. So it's like, oh, okay, she kind of looks like a person from that movie, The Running Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Never saw it.
Wow, great movie. That's where like Sub-Zero and like other like Mortal Kombat characters got their like ideas taken from that show. It's a good movie. That was Arnold Schwarzenegger picks up a TV and says, "And I hope you leave room in your stomach because I'm going to take my fist and ram it into it," and then shatters the TV. Great movie, really
Ouch.
great movie. Like just full of like terrible Arnold Schwarzenegger puns. But besides the point, like her outfit has gotten slightly better, and she doesn't smile as much anymore, which is, I don't know.
Did you catch on to why they're doing that?
The smile? No, I don't.
It's a connection with The Rock.
'Cause
The
he
Rock
smiles?
The Rock is known for his smile. I mean, I know he's known for his eyebrow, but they always talk about The Rock and his $1 million smile, and that's
He
how
does have a
got
nice
into
smile.
acting. Yeah, I think the whole Nia Jax thing is completely a tribute to her cuz.
But yeah, I just don't like seeing Blue Pants get beat.
Did you notice she has a new song?
Yeah,
Remix of the Blue Pants theme.
I didn't like it as much. I like it when Big Cass does it.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless they can get the actual like Price is Right song. I want Big Cass to do it.
I mean, it had nothing to do with copyright because it counts as a parody.
Yeah.
And parodies are above copyright infringement, so.
But does that mean we're gonna see more of Blue Pants because she has like a better song now, or is that just to like annoy
I will
me?
say the fact that they brought her back when the talk was that she was gone for good shows signs that, you know, if she was just an enhancement talent that wasn't under contract, that maybe now
Maybe.
they want to sign her.
I mean, she has a T-shirt. Great shirt.
She's still wrestling for WSU for CZW.
Oh,
She's
wow.
been on every show since, so. I think she is probably booked for this weekend for Cage of Death. She'll be on the WSU. Wait, no, maybe there isn't. I don't think there is a WSU show before Cage of Death this year. Don't know. But so yeah, that's your chop of the week.
Yeah, Nia Jax is my chop. And you know the London thing. I don't want her to win the title. That makes me upset too. So just Nia Jax. What the hell?
What the hell,
What
Nia
the hell?
Jax? What the hell? My chop of the week is going to a venue. The venue is in Providence, Rhode Island. Its name, I hope I am pronouncing correctly, is Fete Music. Or Feet Music? I don't think it would be Feet. That sounds weird.
Yeah,
Fet Music.
Mm-hmm.
It is the home of Beyond Wrestling. I have not heard the full story yet, and as much as we normally don't do our research on this show, and that is why we are lacking information, that is not the case with this story, because from what I have seen, I have checked the website, I have not seen any explanation given, but Beyond Wrestling is losing its home of Fet Music in Providence, Rhode Island. It was where they held monthly events once a month. It was kind of like CZW, where they hold a show once a month, and that is what they do. They don't have a TV show.
Mm-hmm.
They don't, and it was a very cool venue, very unique. They had to use a smaller ring just to fit there. It was a concert venue.
Right.
There was a stage, it was more for concerts, but they held wrestling shows there. It's just a unique venue. It played a lot into the characteristics that were Beyond Wrestling.
Is that where Kimberly got
yes,
awful? Yeah.
I kind of wanted to sell you guys on the idea because my whole plan was that we were going to take a road trip up to Rhode Island one weekend because they hold their shows on the weekend. We'll make it home before we have to go back to work.
Right.
And now they're holding their last show there, and it's going to be the weekend of Christmas. And it's on Sunday. It starts at 4 p.m., but even if that ends at 8, take 4 hours to get back home. I don't know. So, yeah, might not ever be able to go to Fet Music and see Beyond Wrestling.
We've lost Dojo Wars. Now we're losing
Yeah,
this.
we lost Dojo Wars. Sucks.
Everything's gone.
I really want to get DJ Hyde on this show and talk to him about, what the deal is with Dojo Wars. But, yeah, Beyond Wrestling is losing its home. They need to find a new home. But even though they plan on finding a new home and don't plan on ending the organization by any means, they do plan on taking a couple months off before they find this new venue. So everyone, if you haven't and you live in the area, go check out Beyond Wrestling's last show at Fet Music. It's called the Fet Finale, the event. The main event is going to be Tommaso Ciampa versus Donovan Dijak.
Oh.
It's going to be very good. Their shows are always good. And to your point, the big match that's signed for the Fet Finale, Chris Dickinson versus Kimberly.
Oh, no.
One-on-one. Because they said to themselves, screw it, we're getting kicked out of the venue anyway. We almost got kicked out for male-on-female violence. Let's just have the match that everybody has been wanting, Chris Dickinson versus Kimberly. It's going to be intense.
Wow.
Should we go?
It's the weekend of Christmas?
So Christmas is on Friday.
It's on Friday, yeah.
And Fet Finale's on Sunday at 4 p.m.
That's going to be the worst travel day.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm just going to... I'm subscribed to their YouTube channel.
Okay.
It's $9.99, like the WWE Network. I'll watch it when it gets posted. But
Interesting.
I took up a lot of time. Let's move on.
So speaking of Dickinson...
Dickinson, you say?
Yes. It's pop time. And you may be wondering what Dickinson and Pop have to do together. Well, guess what my Pop is? Listen, I don't know the other wrestler's name. I don't know who he was wrestling for. I don't know anything. All I know is that I assume it was in Japan somewhere.
I don't think it was.
Was it? I don't know.
He wrestles a lot on the indies, and it was... Tell your story first.
And I was just on... I'm on this website, and I look at pictures, and randomly it was why wrestling is cool. And I'm like, I just click on it, and it...
Clickbait.
Yeah. And I'm like, I like wrestling. I'll take a look. And it was this wrestler, Joey Ryan, and this fellow reached out and grabbed his junk, and then he flexed and was like, nope, and then twisted a little bit, and the guy twisted his arm, and then he did it again, and he flexed some more, and then he did it again and flipped the guy over with his junk.
So basically he was arm wrestling him without his arm.
Yes. He did a dick flip.
Dick flip.
Dick flip.
Dick toss.
Dick toss. Yep. That's awesome. That's my Pop.
So are you a fan of Joey Ryan now?
You know what? I actually didn't realize that I liked him before because he was in Wrestling Isn't Wrestling. He played the big, strong American guy.
Yes, against John Morrison.
Yeah,
yes.
against John Morrison. And
Johnny Mundo.
Johnny Mundo. And I had no idea who he was, and I'm like, that guy's a wrestler. I don't know who he is, but he was kind of funny in that. So,
you know what you would enjoy, and our listeners probably are aware of this, the Candace and Joey show. It's a YouTube show they put out every week or 2 weeks. It's a 10-minute show of them traveling on the road together because they're a tag team, Candice LeRae and Joey Ryan. Pretty entertaining watching them go on the indies and backstage with the fellow indie
Right.
wrestlers like Chris Hero and Johnny Gargano, all that.
I'll have
It's
to
fun.
check that out.
Yeah. Good pop of the week, though.
That's one of
Very
my favorite
literal pop
Yeah.
of the week.
That's one of my favorite pops in a long time. 'Cause
You know what
usually-
we need to do?
Hmm.
With our best of the year matches, our top 10s that we do for 2015, we need to do our chops of the year and our pops of the year.
Oh, wow.
Joey Ryan may be your pop of the year.
That's up there. That's a big pop.
No pun intended. My
So-
pop of the week. It's kind of funny. My chop and pop are related. They are coinciding with one another because my pop of the week has to do with Beyond Wrestling as well. Last week, we talked about Joey Janela.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that?
Yes.
Because I know you're not familiar with Joey Janela, but we talked about how Joey Janela had attacked that promoter.
Right, and how he's like going to be like blacklisted.
Yes, and it was a big discussion on the internet, and I'm part of a Facebook group that Joey Janela is a part of, and a lot of people were talking about it that even are his friends. Got worked.
Yeah.
It was a complete work. Joey Janela made a surprise appearance at the Beyond Wrestling show that he was supposedly blacklisted from and sneak attacked in the match that he was supposed to be involved with. So, yeah, I got completely played out.
Boom.
I bought into it. A lot of people did. That's why it's my pop of the week.
Yeah.
When you can work me like that, I am impressed. And Joey Janela made a surprise appearance at the tournament for tomorrow, which was Beyond Wrestling's last event they just held in November, which is a tournament, obviously. And he was supposed to have a singles match with Donovan Dijak, who is also in the main event this month. And he interfered in the match, attacking his replacement, JT Dunn, and ended up having a match with JT Dunn at the last Beyond Wrestling show. So it was a work, and he fooled me, and I'm impressed, and it's my pop of the week. And that's the end of the show.
That's the end of the show.
So let's go home.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for listening. Bye.
But wait, there's more.
Oh, snap.
Don't go anywhere.
Listen to that, Tom.
Okay.
So we got some false finish for you.
What we have left, there's not a lot to talk about, but I have a lot listed here. So I'm just going to say it and do our
Okay.
whole spiel where you throw in your 2 cents if
Right.
you feel there's something to add. Kevin Owens and his son got very sick this past week and were sent home and weren't even featured on Raw or SmackDown for being sent home. A lot of people missed him. People that were in attendance wanted to see Owens. And I don't think there's anything to add, but that was in the news. And
He
it's
is a
worth mentioning.
treasure. I'm not going to
He
lie.
is. You
His
don't wanna miss
backstage
Owens.
segments
You wanna watch him
are
every week.
amazing, especially when he's telling off every single backstage reporter.
Does some great backstage
He's
segments.
great. He's great in the ring. He's great on Twitter. He's just great. Gotta love Kevin Owens. And I'm glad that he's feeling better.
And his son.
Yeah.
We're glad that both of them got better and they're in good health. Speaking of Kevin Owens, there was a rumor that came out this past week. Could they possibly book Kevin Owens versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania?
Bum, bum, bum.
Could they treat us to a treat that good? Could they
I hope. That would be cool as hell.
Could they really book something that is that great and that
Well,
we want that bad?
If they're not going to do Austin and Brock, they should. Because it would make sense because Kevin Owens is a prize fighter and Brock Lesnar only makes a couple appearances a year because he gets paid for them. That's about it. So it would make sense for Kevin Owens to make light of that and then get beaten a little bit. And then... because he could be brutal as hell, and that would be really great.
I think you're onto something with the whole prize fighter aspect of it. You know,
I'd like to believe
it's a big time fight, big payday.
Yeah.
You know,
it's the biggest payday. WrestleMania.
and I feel like Owens is a brutal, strong enough guy that he fits as a challenge to Lesnar, where even the best of the best look weak compared to Lesnar.
Oh,
that
yeah.
Owens is a guy on fire enough right now that you got like, you could challenge the guy. You know,
And it would be even crazier if they gave him the win.
it would be.
That would be crazy.
Speaking of fire, Brad Maddox was fired.
Yep.
And he's gone because he said cocky pricks at a dark match before Raw, and Vince wasn't happy. I don't miss him.
No.
I've been wanting Brad Maddox to be fired for well over a year now.
I thought he really was fired. But
he was sent home and then never used for like a full year.
He was just now he does like he's been doing like house shows with like Adam Rose as like the beefcakes. Was that it?
Something like that.
Oh,
I don't care enough.
That's
to remember.
terrible. And then the last time I saw him was on that Jimmy Fallon thing with The Undertaker. He was the guy dressed as a turkey.
You know, it makes me wonder, was he really fired for the cocky pricks line? Because seeing him appear out of nowhere when he's been gone for a year, just get used by The Undertaker like that, and then he gets fired that week, could that have been in the cards already, that they had been planning on letting Maddox go?
It's possible.
You know?
Just one last insult to him.
I'm always on the conspiracy kid. I don't trust you, WWE. You don't have my trust.
Listen, Vince McMahon is terrifying looking. He's like, what is
Scary
he, like 70-something years old, and he is like jacked out of his mind. That's terrifying.
Speaking of guys like Vince McMahon, Dana White is doing a reality TV show, or a reality YouTube show.
Right.
He has a pilot out. It's 22 minutes long. And it is a reality show about how he is on the search for an opponent for a very special person.
Yep. The best person.
Chicago's own.
The best in the world, to some.
CM Punk. Who will fight Punk? Who will it be?
Some Joe Schmo guy who's going to lose.
The impression I get for this pilot is that it's something Dana White wants to continue, that for several fights he wants to go on a reality-based search that they film to find an opponent for a fight. But CM Punk is his test subject.
I hope Jason Frank's on it somehow. You know, the Green Ranger? That would be sweet. And I hope he wins. Because I want to see that more than anything else. Because you know he's going to come out in like Green Ranger stuff. And CM Punk is going to come out in like Red Ranger stuff or something ridiculous. Or have a T-Rex like banner or something. Something ridiculous.
Or what was that woman's name on Power Rangers that was on the other planet?
Rita Revolta?
Rita Revolta.
Yeah.
Wow. Rita Revolta. What a name. What a wrestling gimmick.
Rita Revolta, Lord Zed.
Lord Zed, I remember.
Ivan Ooze. Then, it got kind of weird after that.
Xavier Woods, I think, was in there somewhere. So, yeah, this reality show, I haven't watched it yet, but I'm going to check it out. I'm very invested in this journey that CM Punk is on that's leading him to his first fight. I want to see the process.
Right.
I don't want to just see the fight. I want to see what Punk is doing this whole time.
Right.
The work he's putting in to get to the goal.
And you haven't seen it yet.
No.
So you don't know if it even shows him at all in any capacity.
I don't, but I assume it does. I got the impression it's all about Dana White and his, perspective from it.
Right.
But I assume Punk has
I would hope so. I
mean,
it's to fight him, so at least show him like training, like at least like giving motivation to the people that are doing it, like him like training and like kicking a bag or something, or like running and like kicking a baby or something. I don't know, something ridiculous.
Well,
like just showing how tough he is.
Maybe they're giving it the wedding treatment, where like they don't want Punk to see the fighter before the like. I know they do the press conference. I know he's not going to never have contact, but I mean like maybe they don't want Punk to be like. If you compare it to like American Idol, where the judges are there and they judge everybody and try him out, maybe they don't want Punk to be a judge since it's his opponent. They want him to be left out of that.
Right.
Who knows?
I don't know. He's gonna be. It's on YouTube. He could watch the show.
He could.
It's very easy for him to
like
watch it.
Yeah.
He could be like, oh, there's that Jeff guy. That Jeff guy's tough. Oh, Chris. I want to fight Chris. Chris can't block a punch.
Chris looks like a good guy.
I want to fight Chris.
I like Chris. Speaking of cages, Cage of Death.
Yes.
It's this weekend.
There it is.
This coming weekend. This Saturday at the Flyer Skate Zone in Voorhees, New Jersey. Shout out to DJ Hyde. I'm plugging your show.
Doo-doo.
Yeah, Cage of Death. It's the one big show that comes once a year, like Christmas.
Right around Christmas, too.
It's right around Christmas. It's a lot more violent than Christmas, though. I don't know what your household is like, listeners, but I don't believe there's light tubes broken over people's backs at your Christmas dinner. If there is, you probably have a pretty cool family. But yeah, Cage of Death is this Saturday. The main event is a 4-way for the world title. Champion Matt Tremont against Air Fox, Masada, and Devin Moore. I'm still trying to convince people to come to the show with me. I still plan on going. I do want to witness one of these things eventually. But to stay on a topic that you can relate to, Sami Callihan will be there.
Oh, he will? Okay.
Mr. Solomon Crow himself will be making one of his first appearances since leaving NXT and will be at Cage of Death. It has been announced. I am intrigued.
Oh, that's good. He's got work.
Yeah. Oh, he's got plenty of work.
Yeah.
He made an appearance at AIW, which is out in Ohio. I'm sure Evolve will take him in a heartbeat. PWG, he'll make some big appearance for. And who knows? Callahan could go to Japan and do some work out there. He could go to Progress out in Europe. He has a lot of work on his plate.
We may have not seen the last of him on NXT TV.
Oh, absolutely not. And I heard he left on very good terms. So I don't see him having trouble coming back. Speaking, I'm
These are
on
good
a roll
segues.
with these
These are good.
segues. Speaking of violence and extreme wrestling, I tried. Tommy Dreamer returned to the WWE.
He did.
He was supposed to be in TNA, but they canceled a India tour that was supposed to be a big payday for their entire company. And nope, sorry.
Well,
Don't get on the flight.
it's okay. He's on with the Dudley Boys.
And he's booked on a pay-per-view match now.
Yeah.
So, yay, Tommy.
He did it.
Yep.
Hopefully he lives. That's what I'm really morbid, I realized. I am, like, always worried about dead people.
You know why? It's Cage of Death week.
It is.
We're in brutal mode.
Well, I'm also, like, bad luck for most wrestlers. Like, I'm like, oh, I like this guy, and then they get hurt. So, like, I don't want to say anything good about anybody, because I don't want them to get hurt. It's terrible.
We don't want anybody getting hurt.
Nobody.
Speaking of people that are hurt,
Yep.
damn, I'm on a damn. Randy Orton is out indefinitely.
Jesus.
He had the problem that's been talked about recently about how he took out the trash, popped out his shoulder. Coincidentally happened the week of his wedding. I don't know. Seems fishy.
Yeah.
But they found out that he has other neck issues that is going to keep him out for several more months. You're not going to be seeing Randy Orton anytime soon, and you will not be seeing him in Dallas. That is for sure. Which sucks. It's very fitting for his character and lineage. You know,
Yeah.
Dad being Cowboy Bob Orton. They're at Cowboys Stadium.
He's a viper. He's a snake.
Yeah, and Austin being the rattlesnake. You know, this was a mania for Orton, but
Yeah.
fortunately, he will not be there.
And, you know, I always used to say that Randy Orton was, like, great because I'm like, you know, he never gets hurt. Like, ever. He just, like, takes some time off, like, rests, but he's, like, never hurt. And here he is. This is what I get. This is me. This is my fault. I'm sorry, Randy Orton. This is me. I'm sorry.
You apologize, Andy.
I'm really sorry. Please don't hit me with an RKO out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere.
I'm going to be getting on the train at, like, 5 a.m. and get hit with an RKO.
Speaking of people who have been hurt, continuing to talk about people that were hurt, Matt Hardy was busted open the hard way with a disgusting, a brutal, a repug guitar shot from Jeff Jarrett.
Quite.
There was a wrestling convention that was in the Carolinas this past week. It was called WrestleCade. Plenty of big names on the show. The main event was a first-time ever match between Matt Hardy and Jeff Jarrett. The match ended with the way that I would say 95% of Jeff Jarrett's matches end, with a guitar shot to the head. Except they must have gotten their guitar from Guitar Center on the clearance rack, made out of cedar wood, or like redwood.
It was pretty solid.
Because the guitar didn't break.
No.
And if that wasn't bad enough, when Jarrett swung the guitar, it was the edge of the guitar that connected with the center of Matt Hardy's skull. Wasn't good.
No, not good at all.
And Hardy was busted open the hard way, bleeding pretty bad. I've heard he's pretty pissed about it. Understandably so. And I don't know. I could go on a whole nother rant about how I don't like Jeff Jarrett. I don't think he should really even do those guitar shots anymore.
No.
And again, this isn't his fault. He didn't know. But last year, at the end of a match in New Japan, he did his surprise run-in to show that he was going to be part of Wrestle Kingdom. And he was booked to do a guitar shot to Yoshitatsu to be his big comeback.
Mm-hmm.
Yoshitatsu had just wrestled AJ Styles, and AJ Styles broke his neck doing the Styles Clash.
Oh.
Well, Jeff Jarrett's old school, and they believe in, fulfilling what was booked to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And even though, he didn't know, but he knew Tatsu landed on his head and hurt his neck. You might not have gotten the doctor come in and say what had happened, but you knew his neck was messed up.
Right.
And Jarrett hit him with the guitar shot anyway. And those types of things in wrestling is very hard for me to watch. I don't mind if things get rough, but when you start really endangering somebody's health, it's not cool. Speaking of bad health, we lost somebody from the original ECW roster. Hack Myers passed away at the age of 41. It was only about a week ago Axel Rotten posted a picture of Hack Myers going into brain surgery at the hospital. Unfortunately, we lost him. And rest in peace, Hack Myers. Condolences to him and his family. It sucks. We talked about how there are people from that whole ECW era that, didn't live healthy lifestyles, whether it be in or outside the ring. And it's 2015, and unfortunately, this is the time that we lose some of those people at an early age, And, I don't know. Rest in peace to Hack Myers.
We offer our condolences to surviving friends, family.
Yep. I don't have a segue, so we only have maybe 4-5 more notes.
All right.
One of them being the Melina story that broke out this week that people were talking about, where Melina was difficult to work with in Lucha Underground. She denied the reports. I don't know if I believe them. I've always heard Melina's story. She got fired from the WWE for being difficult to work with. Well, okay, let's be fair. She wasn't technically fired for being difficult to work with, but after she was fired, she continued to show up to work to be the girlfriend of John Morrison, which pissed off WWE people, and they had to actually go out of their way to ban her, to tell her, you have been fired. I don't care if you're his girlfriend. Stop showing up to work. To see she's that kind of crazy,
right?
I'm not going to say I put it past her to be difficult to work with. Who knows, though? It's rumors. I'm not trying to jump on the rumor train. I'm just saying Morrison does kind of seem a little cuckolded by Melina these past few years.
Sorry, Johnny.
Sorry. Speaking of cuckolding, now.
I was gonna say, I didn't know about this story. Oh my.
I have no more segues. Here's what we got left. The TNA World Title Tournament is where it's at. They're down to the final 8. Seems blatantly obvious. It's going to be EC3 and Matt Hardy.
I feel like we've been talking about this for months.
It's been a long time. Their tournament was broken down into 8 groups, and those 8 groups had 4 people in those 8 groups, and they had multiple matches, and it was a point system. Whoever won those groups, they picked the top 2 out of the 4. Those 2 moved on to the final 16. The 16 got narrowed down to 8, and I think it's down to the final 8 now. It still seems blatantly obvious, though. It's going to be Ethan and Matt Hardy, so yeah, whatever. We'll talk about it when it gets to the end and see if it actually served a purpose. Let's see. We have Sheamus and Owens on Twitter. Do you want to talk about that?
Kevin Owens on Twitter, schooling people, like Melissa Joan Hart. Putting her in her place. Clarissa apparently cannot explain everything. And, Sheamus posted a picture that it was a picture of Seth Rollins and as World Heavyweight Champion and Kevin Owens as NXT Champion. And then it was a picture of Finn Balor with his NXT title and Sheamus with his World title. And it said, "From Boys to Men," which sparked...
Fantastic musical group.
sparked the conflict, and then they went back and forth a couple of times, and they're actually still going. Honestly, I wouldn't say that it's a total KO, not wow, no pun intended, from Kevin Owens, but he's doing his part, saying a lot of really great things, and Sheamus is actually fighting back. This is probably the best fight I've seen Sheamus in a while.
It's on Twitter.
It is on Twitter. I mean, it's only words, but when you do it with their accents, it's great. So it's good. It's good. It's a good story. Look it up. Look up the interactions. They're pretty fun. Look up every Kevin Owens Twitter fight because he's brutal. Oh, he rips into people. If you've seen his backstage stuff,
Yeah. I think I mentioned it on last week's podcast, or maybe it was after we were taping, about his comment to the fan that said he was the best thing going in wrestling, and his response was just, thanks, but New Day.
My favorite was, what was the last pay-per-view Survivor Series?
Mm-hmm.
There was the sign that said Diet Owens Diet, and the guy posted, and he took a picture of it, and the sign was like blocking the guy, and his hand was behind it, and it's like, I understand, guy, you needed a sign so you could block your constant masturbation.
Wow.
Kevin Owens.
Nice one, Owens.
He's the
PG
man.
era. PG era. Speaking of people outside this country,
Hey.
that works.
All
Akira
right.
Tozawa is a well-known wrestler from Dragon Gate. He's also wrestled on some PWG shows. Came out that he was one of the people from Japan to get a tryout with a WWE for, a developmental deal or to be part of the NXT roster.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't get an offer, but things can always change. And that's really all I had. I think it was just that it was unknown that Tozawa was part of the tryouts, and he's just so well liked, and so he's very good. And
Right.
He's done some incredible work in Dragon Gate and PWG, like I said before, and him in WWE. I don't know if he's somebody I'd push for to be part of WWE and that whole world. I think he works well in Japanese wrestling, especially Dragon Gate. But he's good to where if he got signed, I'd believe it.
Right.
He's worthy. All I have left here before we wrap things up legit is that the next gen title change happened this past week. I'm getting ahead of myself. Global Force Wrestling has finally crowned champions for their company.
Okay.
However, they have no TV show.
Hmm.
Even though they've held all these house shows on baseball fields and did a TV taping, nobody's seen a thing unless you've been to their live show. However, they have already had a title change because they were forced to.
Oh.
Their next gen champion, which is a ripoff of the X Division, next gen, whatever. I don't know. It's stupid. I don't care. Their next gen champion was PJ Black, which is Justin Gabriel from the WWE, who got fired. He just got signed to Lucha Underground, which has a very exclusive contract deal for 7 years, and you can't wrestle anywhere else unless you have special privileges. PJ Black had to drop the title for being signed to Lucha, so he dropped the title to Sanjay Dutt. So there's that. Last story, and we're going home. Mick Foley was in the news, and he was in the news because of his son getting signed to the WWE. However, not as a wrestler, as a creative writer.
Hopefully that's a good thing.
Hope so, because Mick Foley was very critical of the WWE product, and
very much so this year.
Yeah, and so some people kind of assume that maybe Mick, once the story came out that his son was working for the company, that Mick was maybe doing it because of his son Dewey,
right,
working for the team. That maybe Mick was being overly critical to make his son look good when he comes in and saves the day and works in January, or maybe...
Right.
Who knows? But Mick denied the reports and said that his son got the job not because of his name, because of his hard work.
It helps.
We'll see.
The name helps.
We'll see. We'll give the kid a shot, and we'll see.
The biggest question is, are we going to see Mick Foley as Santa Claus?
I'd like to.
Again.
He looks like a walking Santa.
Isn't he actually
Oh, he's obsessed with Christmas.
like a Santa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
I have his record.
Bring him around
the
once
Mick
a year.
Foley, like Crazy
The
Christmas.
7-inch. How are we getting mic feedback? We were doing
Everything's
so well the whole
Everything's
show.
off.
I'm not even going to edit that out because we were in the middle of talking and the whole show was perfect.
It did good.
We're
did good.
literally wrapping things up. Do you have anything else you want to say about Foley?
Foley's God. That's it.
And that's our show.
That's it. All right. So, thank you for listening here on Chops and Pops. Like, subscribe, comment, do the YouTube thing, and the hokey pokey all at the same time.
You get the deal. We say the same
Yeah.
thing every week. Subscribe.
Yeah.
That's all we need. TLC's next week.
Yep. Shoot us an email, chopsandpopspodcast@gmail.com. Go on our Twitter, @chopsandpops. Andrew takes care of that. Andrew's not been here in a while.
Where you at, Andrew? Football's on. I get it.
Football.
And it's Hanukkah.
And stuff.
He's not Jewish, but his girlfriend is, and
Yes.
he's lighting the menorah.
So, good
as
for
we
him
speak.
for being...
I don't think her family would let him light the menorah.
No,
if
probably
he's
not.
Jewish.
But,
That's
just
wrong.
being there for a significant other. That's great. Good for
Good
him.
job, Andrew.
Nice job.
He's
a
a
good...
nice boy.
He's a nice boy.
He's a good Jewish boy, that Andrew.
All right. So, that's it for us here at Chops and Pops. I am Andy.
I'm Shane. See you next week.
See you
TLC.
next week.
Woohoo.